Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanora Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitattvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakhatvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the three analysis of three states of consciousness to make sure everything is okay, and to realize who I am. So with the mind purified, and one when it goes to Vedanta class, the teacher is going to you are not this. So who am I? So anything this that I can objectify, I cannot be, because I am a subject different from an object. And using that principle, we will now analyze all the experiences all human beings undergo. In a general sense, that we have a waking state, we have a dream state, and we have a deep sleep state. And this is true across the board. This is true in the past, this is true now, this is true in the future, and this is a common experience of all human beings. And using that common experience, we analyze the truth behind the experience. We stated that experience is not a knowledge. Even though one is experiencing, one should understand the knowledge of that experience. By analysis, you need a Shastra, you need a science in order to analyze and the experience, any experience. For example, we see that when we are traveling in a train, we see all the trees and everything is running in the opposite direction. That's everybody's experience. You are stable and everything else is moving. And the real truth is they are stable, but you are the one who is moving. In the same way, when I see sunrise and sunset, and we say sun is traveling from east to west. That's how we understand it. But the fact of the matter is, it is not the sun. Sun is from the point of earth is relatively stable or stationary, and earth is moving from west to east. Therefore, sun looks east to west, opposite to what you experience. That sun is not moving, sun is stationary, and earth is moving and earth is rotating. How do I get? I cannot say earth rotating. In fact, there is a society in England, apparently, it's called Flat Earth Society, where they think that earth is still flat, and according to them, science is wrong. And because you see horizon, and this side of horizon and that side of horizon, that should be the real fact, because that is the experience. So experience based knowledge, but experience is not knowledge. Experience can provide knowledge, provided one analyzes the experience. And the knowledge explains the nature of experience, why one experiences. Knowledge can contradict the experience. Knowledge can resolve contradictory experiences, but knowledge should not be or cannot be contradicted. And that's how we define knowledge, that's called Prama. And the one which gives the Prama means knowledge, and wrong knowledge is called Brahma. We analyze that a little bit when we're talking about the snake rope example. And therefore, how do you define a correct means of knowledge? A pramana. A pramana is anadigata, abadita, artha vishayaka, jnanatvam pramanam. Anadigata, abadita, artha vishayaka, jnanatvam pramanam. These are the terms that are used in Vedanta Paribhasha by Dharmaraja Advare in order to define what exactly is a pramana, means of knowledge. That which cannot be gained by any other way, anadigata. That which cannot be contradicted, that is called abadita. That which provides you a knowledge, a meaningful knowledge of what you are experiencing, and that is essentially Anadhigata, Abhadita, Arthavishak, Jnanatvam. The knowledge is called pramana. So therefore, these things have to be satisfied. So when I say this is a chair, how do you know? I can see. So seeing of the chair, any visibility by the eyes only can see, and ears cannot see. Ears can only hear. But ears cannot contradict what I am seeing through my eyes. So each is independent pramana. Each is valid pramana, and ears may say something else, and that cannot be contradicted by the eyes. So each one is validated by itself, because by transactionally what I see is a chair, and when I touch it also is a chair. So confirmation by other pramanas only establish that it is indeed chair. And when I go and sit on it, that is when I transact with it, then I know it is a chair. But if I sit on it, if it crumbles down and say it is looking like a chair, but it may be made of with a plastic or paper or something, so it cannot sustain the weight of that, but it is a paper chair, a paper tiger. So it looks like a real tiger and I'm afraid of it, but once I touch it, oh, this is only paper tiger. But how did I know it is a paper tiger? By another means of knowledge. But does it invalidate the previous? Yes, it was looking like a tiger and now it is a paper tiger. So the pramana cannot be invalidated. What it can invalidate is to get a better pramana. Why I am seeing that before? So that's how each pramana operates. So what I see is in the whole world, and as I am transacting, it is transactionally real, because the chair is real enough for me to sit down, and the food is real enough for me. When I eat, I am full, and before that I was hungry, now I am full. So all these things are transactionally real. And in that state, in the waking state, I am dealing with the whole world. To me, everybody thinks the waking state is real because we are experiencing. So I have a wife, I have children, I have to take care, I have a job and earning, I have shelter. All these things that are during the whole lifetime I am transacting in the world. And even this knowledge of Vedanta is only in the waking state, because in the waking state, intellect is the maximum available for me to analyze. The mind, the intellect and the body, all equipments are functioning to their maximum capacity possible in the waking state. I may not use intellect enough. That's a separate issue. And I may not have used the mind properly. I may be sitting in the class and thinking something else. So I won't get this and I am doing something else. So mentally I am somewhere else, so physically I am here. That's because of lack of integration. That's called yoga. Yoga integrates what I see, what I hear, what I do, everything is in line. The presence of mind, we say presence of mind means mind is absent elsewhere. So mind has to be present, and the intellect has to be present, and the body is present. So people say, I'm sitting in the meditation, but my mind is not able to meditate. Why? Because it's thinking of something else. Why does it think of something else? Because you have attachments there. It doesn't think of my wife or my children or my job situation. It thinks about your wife, your children, yours only. That's because you have attachment to that, and mind goes towards the attachment. So how do I do meditation where I can concentrate in the object of meditation? Means you reduce first your attachments. That's why karma yoga, all that yogas are important before you sit for meditation. That's all the implication is. We are analyzing now the three states of consciousness, the waking state. So as a waker, I am a subject, and the whole world that I am transacting with are objects for me. And I am interacting with the objects through my five senses, through the jnanendriyas, that is through the eyes, ears, nose and so on, the five sense organs, through which I gain the knowledge of the objects. And five karmendriyas, five organs of action, the hands, legs, and the physiological functions. There are actions that are done in the world, and that's how I transact with the world, the speech, and through the karmendriyas, I act as karma. So I have 5 jnanendriyas and I have 5 karmendriyas. These are 10, and the Dasamukha is the Ravanasura. Ravanasura is only lives at this level, where he has only maximizing the sense input and actions only to get what he senses, and that's all he lives in, and he's stomaching everything into his. So the Rama has to come and use the Brahmastra. That means Aham Brahmasmi has to be used to get rid of. Where does he use? On the stomach itself, where he is gulping all and accumulating vasanas. So it has to destroy all the vasanas, and that's where he says Amritam is there. Amritam means that which remains the same all the time. Those vasanas, comparative to the highest state of reality, is also prolonging, because from the beginning he is having vasanas. So has to be destroyed by Rama using a Brahmastram. That's what the implication is of the Ramayana, where the teacher advises him to use Brahmastram in order to get rid of Ravana. Until then, you cannot get rid of Ravana. By any other objectification, you cannot get rid of it. You have to use that Aham Brahmasmi or the Mahavakyas in order to remove that Ravana and merge with Rama. That is, merging with Rama means the one who reveling in everything and one who revels in everything, or everything revels in him. That is what's called Rama, and that is what essentially pure consciousness that represents. So in the waking state, I have 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, that is 10, and pancha pranas, 5 pranas, the physiological functions, that is 15, and then you have the 4 more, the intellect, buddhi, and the mind, which is essentially manas, and ahankara, the ego, and the memory, chitta. All 4 more, that is 15 plus 4, 19 gateways in which I am transacting in the world. That's what the Mandukya Upanishad talks about as a 19 gates. Ekona vimsati mukhaha. That's how it defines at the Vyakti level the whole transactions itself. And when I go to dream state, what happens? When I go to dream state, I remove the whole world of waking world is gone, and I am entering into the dream. So when I go to the dream, when I am lying down on a Dunlop bed and air conditioned on, lights are off, everything is there, and I glide into dream state. So how do I go into dream state? Oh, let me go and dream. That's not a daydream we are talking about. Here, the dreaming comes not by my own consciousness. When I get the dream, I don't know, because I glide into it itself, and I also come out of it. So once I enter into the dream, so what happens when I enter? So let's say I enter into dream where I am in the forest, and there are a lot of trees, and there are people there, and there are animals, and there the sky is there, Akasha is there, there is a breeze, the Vayu is there, that is air is there, and rain is coming, and you see ponds and all that, and earth is there. All 5 elements are there. And also I can see, I can hear, I can touch, I can smell. All 5 jnanendriyas are there, and all 5 karmendriyas, because I can walk, I can talk, all 5 karmendriyas are there, and I have the intellect, I have the emotional, the mind, and ahankara, ego in the dream state, and also memory in the dream state. All 19 gateways are still there. Therefore, Mundaka Upanishad says, Ekona vimsati mukhaha. Even in the dream, I have 19 gateways which are as though different from the waking state. Now, how did the dream world got created? Since the suppressions and oppressions of the waking state are projected in the dream. So the vasanas, this is essentially the undigested vasanas of the waking state, become a seed for the projection of the dream world. And even though there is an intellect there, the intellect is at lower level compared to a waking state. He does not have the discriminative faculty to know what is real and what's not real. He cannot educate that intellect to make sure that this dream world is not real and there is a waking state that is real. He has no idea. For him, that is the real state. And he doesn't think that dream is not a dream or a dreamer who is in the dream. Right? So that means it is a real state, and for him the world is real, everything is real. So, and he cannot appreciate even Vedanta because his mind sharp, his intellect is not there to inquire further, and that intellect can only be available in the waking state, not in the dream state. If it's available in the dream state, then he won't be able to go on dream world. He cannot even enter the dream world. So the very fact that he is going enter into dream world is only exhaustive mechanism. Whereas in the waking state, not only I exhaust my vasanas, I accumulate new vasanas because I have a will to act. I can do, not to do, and do it another way. So we call it the Purushartha is there along with the Prarabdha, the destiny. So destiny and free will both are there in the waking state. In the dream state, there is a destiny only, but there is no free will as much as I have. I have a free to run away from the tiger, and that free will appears to be there, but it's a limited free will. And that, therefore, it's only for exhaustion of the vasanas only. Just like animals have a free will enough to exhaust their vasanas, they go in a beaten path, they don't accumulate new vasanas. Cow, by eating grass, vegetarian, doesn't get more punyam compared to a tiger which is killing its prey and satisfying its hunger. Because the tiger, vasanas are that, and it's exhausting those vasanas, and the cow is only exhausting its vasanas. So each animal, because of the lack of intellect, it only exhausts the vasanas. Whereas in the human being, they have a rational intellect to do, not to do, to other way. Therefore, for him only Vedanta comes to picture, inquire using your intellect. And therefore, that discriminative intellect is available in the waking state, but not in the dream state, and of course not in the deep sleep state. So, dream state as though created spontaneously, and the whole forest is there. It's not that first Akasha is created, Akashat Vayuhu, Vayu Agnihi, Agni Abha, Abja Prithvi. There is no sequence of creation. There is a world into which I am entering. That's called Upavishati. That means entering into the world as a jiva. For me to transact in the world, I need a body. So even though I am sleeping on the cot in the waking state, the waker's mind is creating the whole dream world. So who is Ishvara of the dream world? Ishvara of the dream world is the waking mind supported by consciousness. And that creates all that, because it has a knowledge of creation. He knows what is a tree, what is this, what is that. You may find strange animals there, but the strange animals are created by the mind using the knowledge available in the mind. So says there may not be the rabbits with the horns outside in the waking state, but I can be genius because I know what is a rabbit and I know horns. So I can create rabbits with horns in my dream. And that's not a contradiction, because I won't question, hey, how come I am seeing here rabbits with horns, and whereas in the waking state I didn't have it. Oh, all that will not be there. That are taken as natural, And the time in the dream world is different from the time in the waking state. I can grow from childhood to adult in no time, but from the point of a dreamer, that is a valid time. Only from the point of waker, that whole thing is happening in the middle of the night, in few minutes. But few minutes is from the waker's point, not from the dreamer's point. It took a long time for him to grow in the dream world. So he enters into, with the body, with the mind and intellect into the body, and all that will be similar and exactly identical system. Only thing is, he does not have, or he cannot have, or he cannot develop the discriminative intellect to realize in the dream world. And so I have a waking world which is completely dismissed against, completely different from the dream world, because in the waking world I am sleeping in the comfortable bed and it's quite dark there because I cannot sleep with the light on. But whereas in the dream I am entering into dream world with the whole thing is bright, sun is there and the people are there. I can see everything there which I cannot see in the waking state also. I even dream some of the things which I don't even remember years and years ago, that can be coming out also now. Sometimes we wonder, say, how can I dream all these things which I didn't know anything? Because that samskara, the vasanas are there, which is now coming out in the dream world to exhaust it. So I have a waking world with its vasanas, dream world with its vasanas. Now I go and enter into deep sleep state. So I am a waker in the waking state. I am a dreamer in the dream state. The dream world, a separate world completely. I have a dream body, dream mind, dream intellect, dream this one, dream vasanas, dream hospitals, dream medicines, all those dream. Dream air, dream earth and all that. For them that is real one. Only when I say it's all my projection, only a waker will say. And waker thinks that this is real, unless you go to higher state of consciousness. That's what we are talking about. So then you know it is like a dream. So in the waking state, I am there and the world is there. In the dream state, I am there and the world is there. And in the waking state, I am a subject. Everything is object that I am experiencing in the waking state as transactional reality. In the dream world, I am there as a subject and the whole world is there. From the dream subject point, there is an Ishvara, the world who created all this. And I didn't create the tiger that is chasing me. I won't do it. But somebody else has created. The tiger is now chasing me and I have to run in the forest. Forest is not, I didn't create the forest. Somebody else, Lord Ishvara has created. All that is there in the dream world. Just as in the waking state. Exactly parallel system. There is no difference in the reality for a dreamer. It is as real as a waking world for a waker. Only difference I said is discriminative faculty. And when you go to the deep sleep state, even that world is folded. Then what is there? What is there in the deep sleep state? So say, I slept very well. Okay. So what did you do in the deep sleep state? I don't know. What did you see in the deep sleep state? I don't know. Then how do you know that you are there? Because I slept very well. That means I was there to sleep very well. So I am able to recollect the experience of the deep sleep state only because the experiencer and the recollector has to be one and the same. So if I am not recollecting your sleep, I am recollecting I have comfortable sleep, I slept very well, my mind is now very calm, peaceful and now activated, now it has taken rest, now I can do anything. Now it is sharp again. So all those statements imply that I was there and my mind was there, but it has become quietened. That's why I cannot see. Since I cannot see the whole world, I cannot also know that there is a space, because the mind that sees the objective world also has to be there in order to see the space. So space is an inference comes from the objective world. So is a time. In the deep sleep state, I don't know how much I slept, how long I slept. Only when I am awakened, then I know when I went to sleep, and now I say, my God, I slept that long. Who makes a statement? waker makes a statement, not the deep sleeper. If a deep sleeper is making, that means he has not slept very well. So when I say I slept very well, then there has to be some witnessing consciousness who knows that the body, mind, intellect is sleeping. Who is that? I am. I am the one who is sleeping. So I am as a conscious entity, existent entity, witnessing the sleeping of the body, mind, intellect there. So who is the witnessing? I am. So subject is still there, the object is still there. Object is what? The absence of the subject-object relationships. Absence of that I am a seer, this is a seeing, all the triad means there are three aspects: seer, seen, seeing, and walker, walking, and the distance you walk, or the smeller, smelled, and the object of smelling. So all these triad are there in a normal experience, and in the case of dream world, in the deep sleep state, I am there, but the mind to know the subject, object and the relationship itself is folded. So therefore I don't know the details of any subject-object relationship. Who doesn't know? The mind doesn't know, because mind has slept. Because the mind has slept, even the concept of time is gone, concept of space is gone, therefore it is beyond everything. Yet what is there is, I don't know. So I am not knowledgeable about that state, while in the state, and what I know is the absence of any duality, therefore it is just constant, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I call akhanda, akara, ajnana, vritti. Ajnana vritti means it is a thought of I don't know. But thought is not a broken I don't know, it's not like a series of I don't know. It is akhandam, unbroken ignorance. That's called akhanda, ajnanam. And akaram is only a continuous, without any shape, with a continuous, the presence of the absence of the knowledge of subject-object reality. Presence of the absence of the subject-object duality. So what does that mean? So I ask you, can you go to the other room and see if there is a chair there? You go there and find out there is no chair there and say, sir, I didn't see any chair. If there is no chair, how can you say I didn't see any chair? Did you go and see, can you go and say, is there Gaga Bubu there? If you go there in Gaga Bubu, you don't know whether Gaga Bubu there, if they are not. So you ask, first thing is, what is Gaga Bubu? So what is Gaga Bubu? I don't know, but go and check it. So, if you don't know, I don't know how I am going to know. So I need to know what is that I am looking for. How? By its attributes. A pot is that which is of this size and it is of the red color and it has this. If I describe the attributes of the pot, then you can go and look at every object and see any object there has the same attribute that I have described. And then say, I don't see any object like that. So it's not there. So when I say something is not there, the absence of of that object is recognized because attributive content of the object that I know is not there with any object there. So how do I know ignorance is I don't know anything? Because I have a knowledge of the subject-object relationship in the waking world, subject-object relationship in the dream world, and when I go to deep sleep state, I have no knowledge of the subject-object relationship. It is unbroken absence of the knowledge of subject-object relationship. That is what is called ignorance. Ignorance is defined there as absence of any particular knowledge of any object or subject. Therefore, I say there is nothing is there, not even the space and the time. What's a space and time? We'll analyze a little bit more because we are more rational intellect. We have concept of relative theory and all that. That Vedanta has analyzed this in a much more beautiful way than even the scientific aspects of it. This we'll discuss in the next talk. We'll stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.